NFL Week 6 is here. Sunday are the first games of the week. No game this Thursday. We did have a Tuesday game, but that was still part of the Week 5. Schedules are crazy. We have another 2 games on Monday because of COVID. So it's hitting teams, but they're doing well. They're doing well to adapt. I've seen that they may even extend an extra week. So there may be another week added to the year. But yeah, things been holding up. I think they've been doing a good job rescheduling games. The Tuesday game, we only seen about a handful of games on Tuesdays throughout all the NFL season. So that definitely was interesting. Definitely didn't affect the Titans. They came out strong. Buffalo pretty much gave it away to them. A couple turnovers close in their zone. So great field position for Tennessee all game, and they were able to capitalize there. Let's go do a little Week 5 recap. KC lost their first game, guys. Lost to. So anyone that had that 16-0 KC finish, that's not happening. I did think it was too many points, though. I did mention that in the quick hits, but definitely didn't see an outright win there, right? Not too many people seen Raiders winning outright. If you did, good call on that. KC, they'll be okay, though. Just a bad game. Every team has that throughout the year. Maybe underestimate them a little bit. Great game from Carr, guys. 347 passing yards, 3 touchdowns. Very impressive there. Dak going down. That was terrible for Dallas fans. Looked really bad. Dalton came in and came up with 2 big throws with seconds left to get the win. That was impressive. And one good thing Dallas did was get Dalton. I don't love the coaching hire. As you can see, it is showing here early on for Dallas. But Dalton, he's a vet. He can fill in for Dak. I don't think it's a huge downgrade for them. He can throw the ball, give him a couple extra weeks now. And he has the weapons around him. So I don't think it's a huge downgrade for Dalton. I think Dallas should be okay. But yes, it is a slight downgrade, of course, right? Houston get their first win. Houston gets their first win, beating up the Jags, 30-14. Jags are really showing why. They had a good start, but they're showing why, a lot of people are on that under for them games when I don't think they're going to too many games moving forward, guys. Cook was huge in this one. 8 receptions for 161 yards. Maybe he's going to replace Hopkins there. But, good game from Cook, and Houston get their first win. Tough loss for the Vikings versus Seattle Sunday night game. Vikings look like they are playing better, and I think they are playing on team moving forward here if undervalued. I know Cook is injured, but their backup, Mike Tyson, is solid, man. Solid running back. I don't think they're losing that much. Seattle's 5-0 to start the season, guys, which is the first time in franchise history. 5-0 for the Seattle Seahawks. Very impressive start. Could have easily lost that game, but obviously they're all talking about that punt. The going for 2 instead of kicking the field goal. Could have gone to overtime, but I think it was the right play there. Another profitable week last week for subscribers. We went 2-0 on our best bets. 6-3 on best bets to start the season. We all know we had a slow start to the season, but things are picking up and looking good now. 13-5 run in the NFL. We did lose that teaser to end the week there. More winners given out on the video last week, along with the teaser, guys. I actually hit 2 separate teasers on Sunday. One for you guys that just watched the videos and one for subscribers as well. Dallas was in both, so we got a little lucky there. But Pittsburgh was on the video, and we had Rams for subscribers, which was even an easier winner. Best bet was Arizona, -6.5, which was the early line. Didn't even need the early line, so some subscribers I got it at 7. Easy cash as well. And we had Mayfield under 250.5 passing yards, which just got there, but it did hit. If you want more information on the subscription service, Remember, I cap all sports, not just NFL. Check out systemsportscapping.com for more information on that. We'll go over 3 games here again like last week. I'll leave you guys with a teaser play and an underdog play that I think could win. So I'll leave it up to you guys if you want to bet it. Let's get right into it. Baltimore -8, 7.5 some places versus Philly. Total 47.5. Baltimore will travel to Philly, not too far. Philly coming off a tough loss to the Steelers. Their offense actually showed up a bit. They were able to score, but that defense was ugly, guys. Defense is ugly all year long, and it continued in that Pittsburgh game. They allowed Claypool to get 4 TDs. They don't have a lockdown guy that can cover anybody, and they had no answer for him all game. Baltimore will look to run, right? I don't see a repeat of a wide receiver getting 4 TDs. Baltimore runs the ball, sets up passes to 2 guys, Brown and Andrews, right? It's just, can you stop the run? Last week, the Steelers got to Wentz often with 5 sacks and 11 QB hits. Ravens should be able to get the Wentz here as well, right? Ravens use their full team to blitz. It's a full team blitz with their secondary moving up, their linebackers, and their interior D as well. They don't have, 2 guys on the edge that just primarily rush. They use their full team to rush. Wink has crazy packages that gets everyone involved. So it's very tough to stop. Eagles have allowed 19 sacks this year, which is 30th in the NFL. Ravens last week, 7 sacks and 15 QB hits. That could tell a lot here in this game, right? Can Philly protect Wentz? Right? It's going to be defensive line versus offensive line. A lot of games are determined that here. I think that determines it here as well. Has Philly finally found a wide receiver? That's the question here. Travis Fulgham, 13 targets, 10 receptions, 150 yards with a TD. 6th round pick out of Old Dominion. Now, it could be just Pittsburgh not covering the guy, and who the hell is him? Why am I going to cover him when he was open, right? So teams will start adapting, and he's not going to have repeat performances like that. Saunders was able to get loose for a long run, but that's it. He was bottled up after. I almost jumped on the Sanders prop under rushing yards due to the Steelers' rush D, so glad I didn't. He got lucky with that breakout, rare long run that Pittsburgh led up. It was a long run. I think it was 50, 60 yards. After that, he only had about 20 yards, right? So that could happen. So rushing props for running backs sometimes are tough to hit on unders. I avoid them for the most part. So glad I did there. I don't think Saunders will be getting loose that much in this one. Ravens rank 5th in run D. Ravens rank 3rd in the NFL in rushing. And it hasn't been because of Lamar. He's actually not playing all that well so far, especially in the air, guys. Stanley being out, I think, Stanley being out, their left tackle, one of the best left tackles in the league, has been an issue for the Ravens. And remember, no more Yonda. Okay, which is showing here a bit. I like Baltimore here. However, I don't like this spread. I don't like the spread, -8. So I'll be staying off it. I would lean the over here, though. I think Ravens will be able to score on Philly D. And last week, Philly was able to put up the points on the Steelers D. So I think he can get over. Next game here that I'm featuring. Next game, Green Bay -1 at Tampa Bay. Total 55.5. Fun one in Tampa this weekend. Looking forward to this one, guys. Green Bay will finally get Davante Adams back, which is huge for them. Rodgers' favorite and main weapon. This Green Bay team will be rested coming off a bye. So the extra week for Rodgers is never a bad thing, right? Tough loss for Tampa. They lost Vita Vea. Big reason why Tampa Bay was tough to run, and they were first with just under 55 yards per game they were allowing. It's a big loss for them. Green Bay's run game has been great. 5.1 yards per carry. Jones, top 3 in the league in rush yard at 93.5 yards per game. We'll see how much that Vea loss will affect that run D. I think it will. Let's not forget Aaron Rodgers having an MVP season, so they obviously throw the ball as well, and it's been pretty much without Devontae Adams as well, right? Really loving my Green Bay future on win total over. I think we got it at 8.5. I'd have to double check that, but we got it at 8.5 total over. I do like that. Rodgers has been throwing for 303 a game, 128 passer rating so far this season. Impressive. That's MVP-like numbers, guys. Tampa's pass D hasn't been that bad, to be honest. 11th ranked. However, over 70% completion rating is high. Green Bay's defense isn't anything special, guys. Higher passer rating allowed at 72% and allowing 8 yards per attempt. Brady should be able to throw on this defense. This isn't that Bears defense that we've seen from last week, guys. So Brady should be able to get a little loose here. I did like the over in this one when it opened at 51. Guys. Now it's a bit too high for my liking at 55.5. If you tell me to choose, I would take over the 55.5. Watch out for Ronald Jones in this one, guys. Back-to-back 100-yard weeks, and Green Bay's rush D isn't special at all. There should be points here. Rodgers versus Brady only faced each other twice. 1-1 in their careers, so that'll be interesting. Who's going to get the one up? Going 2-1. Tough call. I would lean Green Bay and expect some points here. Chicago versus Carolina. -1.5 total, 44.5. Carolina favored in this one. Who is this Carolina team? Are they for real? Tough to figure out, but they've been winning, guys. You know, I have a lot of questions for this Carolina team. We had a tough team total loss with them last week. Whoever was on it, subscribers, we had 20 points. They had 20 points early in the third and needed over 25, and they couldn't get there. They were on the 10-yard line, decided to kick a field goal, didn't want to rush in. It was a bad beat, definitely. 4-1 Bears coming off a big win versus the Bucs at home. Showed their D is for real. Bridgewater, again, had a solid game with over 300 yards and 2 TD, but this is a Chicago D, not Atlanta. You got to keep that in mind, guys. Last week, the Bears held Brady to 6 yards per attempt and only 1 TD. Passer rating allowed under 80%, which is very impressive. Now, where I think Carolina can excel on offense is on the ground. The Bears have struggled there on the ground. Great against the pass, not great on the ground against the run. Last week, Jones ran for 106 yards, 6.2 yards per carry. I expect a lot of running in this one. Both defenses are bad versus the run. Gurley ran for over 8 yards per carry last week on Carolina. I see why the under is being bet here. It is low, though, which is keeping me off it right now. Christian McCaffrey could be back in this one. However, I do doubt it. Davis has been great filling in for him and will get work even when CMC returns. It is a tough call on the side. I would lean Chicago and I would play the under here. Leave you guys with some quick hits like I have been doing. Lean Detroit after a bye week over Jacksonville. Atlanta's a mess. Coaching change won't do anything for them, in my opinion. No Cook for the Vikings, which does suck. Matheson is solid, though, and shouldn't hurt them too much. Houston get their first win. Short week for the Titans. Lean Houston there. Cleveland versus Pittsburgh is a big one this week. Should be points in that one. Colts should get back on track at home. 8 points, maybe a bit too much though. New England wins at home, guys, and Miami looked great last week, putting up a ton of points against San Fran, banged up San Fran. Should carry over here versus the lonely Jets. Leave you guys with a 2-team teaser like I have. We went back-to-back wins on teasers. Let's make it 3 in a row for you guys. We're going to be on Indy -1.5 and the Bears +7.5. That's a 6-point teaser. Leave you guys with an underdog play of the week. I'm going to be adding an underdog play of the week each week, who I think could win outright. Not a strong opinion. It's an outright winner, right? So we're going to take Washington over New York Giants. Both banged up, both shitty teams. I think Washington go in there and get the win. Feel free to do what you like with that. All right, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, breaking down some games there, going over the quick hits and leaving you with the teaser and underdog. That'll be the format going forward for the rest of the season. Hopefully you are liking it. If you want more information on the subscription service, you'll get my best bets each week in a detailed email with the reasons why I like the bets. I send out early lines on Tuesday, Wednesday that I like, and then also props and my final plays on Saturday morning. All right, guys, enjoy week 6. And like I always say, bet smart and know your limits. Take care.